just took over the police in Washington, D.C. But if you think this is just politics, you're missing the ritual that's happening right in front of you. Under 7040 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, Trump placed the entire Metropolitan Police Department under federal control. He also deployed 800 National Guard troops into the city. And this comes at a time when crime is actually down by more than 25%. So if it's not about crime, then what's it about? Well, D.C. is a ritual city. You see, Washington, D.C. is not just a capital. It's a Masonic temple city. It's designed with sacred geometry, astrological alignments, and occult symbols embedded in the streets. There's even a pentagram in the street layout, an owl shape surrounding the Capitol. The Washington Monument is an obelisk or tekken, and the Capitol dome represents the womb. See, the police in the city, and even your city, are more than just officers. Symbolically, they're actually temple guards of America's most powerful ritual space. See, this is an energetic seizure. By taking control of the DC police, Trump isn't just running law enforcement. He's seizing the guardians of the temple. And the National Guard brings in the Mars archetype, the planet of war and enforcement, activating the Pentagon's pentagram energy. This merges with the sun's rulership energy with Mars enforcement energy. So in occult terms, it's the king backed with a sword. And there's an ill timing layer to this as well. Now this is where it gets deeper. This happened just days after the 8/8 Lionsgate portal and during the energy of a full moon in Aquarius. So this is a cosmic alignment tied to kingship, sovereignty, the collective, the rise of Sirius. And in ancient Kemet, Sirius rising signaled the flooding of the Nile and the empowerment of the pharaoh. So DC's obelisk and the reflecting pool are aligned to mirror the sky, meaning moves like this during this portal carry much symbolic weight. So this is more than a policy move. This is an energetic conquest over the symbolic heart of America. They play chess on an occult board. And if you don't know the geometry, if you don't know the astrology and the ritual timing, you'll think it's just headlines. But this is the language of power, and this was a ritual claim of sovereignty by the president. Now the question is, what comes next?
Albert Pike said this about Freemasonry in this very book. He says that Freemasonry is based almost totally on the Kabbalah.
Yes.
Jewish magic.
Yes.
And many Jewish rabbis have admitted this, and they say that in all of the rituals of Freemasonry, you will find the Kabbalah, the system of magic of the Jews. For example, the 30th degree of Freemasonry is the Knights of Kadosh.
Yes.
And it involves skulls and black robes and a knight laying in a coffin speaking from the dead.
Yes.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate. The club has what some might see as a strange fascination with death, skulls and bones. There's the chants too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil equals death, death equals death.
Miss Buttercup, Skull and Bones, accept or reject? Accept. Not a word to anyone. How does it feel being a woman? Why do you want to know?
Gentlemen, I will remind you, you have all taken an oath of secrecy. You have been chosen to become members of America's most secret society. For over 100 years, Skull and Bones members have included a president, vice presidents, Supreme Court justices, congressmen and senators, captains of science and industry, the very best of America.
Their God is for their advisor, their better or their advisor, or wrong or right.
Take it personally.
Getting pissed on is personal, Mr. Russell. I take it very personally.
Edward, we're all in this together.
Come back inside. We're brothers for life.
Tell us, Mr. Wilson, brother to brother, something you've never told anyone before. Your most guarded secret. Something you will need to trust us with.
And all of this turning to the god of the underworld, the gods of the underworld, is all related to Jewish Kabbalah, because they believe in necromancy, yes, communication with the dead. And they believe that in the last days, a Kabbalistic master will come upon the earth, and there will be a Jewish utopia, a new world order of the Jews, but they must go along with what are called the Noahide laws and be good Gentiles and go along with Kabbalah. And if they recognize that the Holy Spirit is the serpent. And by the way, that's also taught in the 32nd degree of Freemasonry, that is, the serpent is the Holy Spirit. Right. And he is going to encircle the earth.
We're both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
Tim Russert, the moderator of Meet the Press and NBC's Washington bureau chief, collapsed and died early this afternoon.
May call them whatever you wish: the Order of the Quest, the Jason Society, the Rosh Hashanah, the Kabbalah, the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Columbus, the Jesuits, the Masons, the ancient and mystical Order of Rosicrucians, the Illuminati, the Nazi Party, the Communist Party, the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Group, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, the Rosicrucian, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the Open Friendly Secret Society of the Vatican, the Russell Trust, the Skull and Bone, the Scroll and Key, the Order. They are all the same, and all work toward the same ultimate goal, a new world order.
And once again, because of amazing friends like you, you send me digging even deeper. Like, how did Bayer Roths end up with millions of dollars worth of gold to just create his own dynasty? Oh, right. Let's talk about them for a minute. We can date their ancestry back to the medieval times and Renaissance Rome. They were one of the most influential princely families. Back then, they operated to the equivalent of today's global cartel. They've been hoarding gold, money, everything since the Crusades. There are a handful of real families that truly run this shit. And they do it from behind the scenes. Finding any information on them is like, no. They run it through religion, finance, land, property, and manipulating and controlling the world market. Churches sign up as a nonprofit because a percentage always has to be sent back to Rome. Our human bodies are corporations via birth certificate. Yep. So here's the 3 cities that actually control everything. City of London, Vatican City, Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, but to me, this is the all-seeing holy eye. Everything's controlled by the alphabet agencies, all social media sites, search engines, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. Follow me on this. Vatican City, not part of Italy. District of Columbia, not part of America. City of London, not part of England. Here's just a handful of popes under the family. So listen to this. The very first level, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, anything that requires you to take a secret oath. Then you have fraternities, sororities, other secret oaths. Yes, when everyone's so excited to just give away their freedom and comply. Next, lawyers, teachers, doctors, mayors. And then what do we have? Presidents, prime ministers, world leaders, high-level positions in secret societies, and occult groups. Wake up. Where do we go from here?
Well, you have to understand that nobody exists on a high level in government who's opposed to the New World Order. Nobody. Our government has literally been infiltrated, and there's a cancer within our government destroying it, eating it, nibbling away at it, hacking off its limbs.
And you said this started in 1945?
1945 was when the overt destruction began to occur, when Truman signed the UN Participation Act and the United Nations Treaty. It actually began long before that, when these secret societies began to infiltrate the government and appoint their members to important posts. Infiltration is easy. If one gets in, he can then appoint and hire others to replace people who are not members below him.
So now we've had over 50, almost 50 years of this going on.
At least. I believe that it started back probably 1913, 1917, when the Federal Reserve Act was passed, when the Council on Foreign Relations became a reality in this country. As long as you're playing their game, it doesn't matter who you vote for, who you put in office. They all belong to the other side. They're the pockets of the Illuminati. When you quit electing professional politicians, when you quit electing the guy who looks nice on television because he speaks good and he looks like the guy you wanted to marry or something like that, you're playing right into their hands. You know, they've made it so impossible for another Abraham Lincoln to get elected to the office of president that it's a wonder that we even have a chance at all.
I was in the FBI for 27.5 years, and at the time of my retirement in 1979, I was the senior special agent in charge of the FBI Los Angeles office. I developed information personally about just extensive corruption in the government, not only at the federal level, but all the way down to the city and state level across this country. The bottom line is to take over the country and the world.
For what, though?
Power, greed. This goes back over 200 years, back to 1776, with the establishment of an organization known as the Illuminati. And if your listeners don't know what the Illuminati is, they need to run down to the library and look it up and do some research, because on May the 1st, 1776, a fellow named Adam Weishaupt, German, set forth 25 goals at the request of the Rothschild group that they needed to initiate in order to take over the world. We're talking about destroy the sovereignty of countries and destroy religions. And that's where it really started in modern day. And right today, believe it or not, and we have the documentation for this, we are probably 90%, their goals have probably been filled at the rate of about 90%.
Hi there, this is Sharon Duffing at the Minnesota State Capitol. It is Friday, April 4th, 2025, and I'm here to double check on what everybody's been talking about on social media, is this plaque in honor of our Governor, Tim Walz, and it is from people that are supportive of his efforts, and there it is, right here in the East Hall. Lower level. It reads, the Democratic Coalition of Satan Worshippers thanks Governor Tim Walz for not standing in the way of spreading Satanism in the state capitol building. Satan has a special place for you. And that's what it says.
Truth of what humanity is facing is horrifying. Globalist elites are hell-bent on using the power of national governments to carry out a worldwide cull, C-U-L-L, of human beings. They are pledged to bring the world population down from nearly 8 billion people to just 1 billion, and I would say even below 1 billion. That means 7 billion people have to go, beloved. And John Henry continues, that's right, according to these plans, 7 billion people must go.